Not that one. Where it goes.
From the television capital of the world, Hollywood, California, it's time to shoot for the stars. In today's Superstar, there are prizes worth over $62,000. One of today's lucky players could win $25,000 in cash. A brand new Triumph TR7 sports car. Or a deluxe European vacation. Today, the stars we'll be shooting for are that wonderfully wacky lady, Joanne Worley. The poet laureate of television, Nipsey Russell. The oddball from the Odd Couple, Jack Klugman. More faithful and funny friend, Rue McClanahan. And Superintendent Schneider from One Day at a Time, Pat Harrington. And now, the honorary mayor of Hollywood, the star of our show, Monty Hall.
Thank you very much. I thank you. I welcome everybody to Shoot for the Stars. And
I'll
welcome...
take behind door 3. I'll try that.
You'll take what you get. And you're going to get it. So we have a nice group of folks here, our celebrity stars. On our panel, we have 2 people who are going to play the game right now. First, as we meet them, our returning champion, and that is Eva Carmona, who was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. And I love saying that. I'm just glad that you came from Guadalajara. You could have come from Mexico City and it wouldn't have sounded just the same. And the challenger, before I mention the challenger, Eva has won, let me see, $3,150 so far. And, of course, the more you win, the more you keep and you stay on as a champion. Your challenger is Brian Tully. Say hello to Brian Tully, folks. Brian is married with 3 children, an insurance agent from Torrance. Can't pronounce that the same way I do Guadalajara. Sorry. We'll get to know more about Brian, hopefully, as the show goes on. Now, here's how we play the game. The first person to earn 15 points wins. Each of you starts off with 3 points, and you can make each question worth as many points as you have in front of you. Now, you're going to hear the question, and you'll hear an answer. And then you'll decide whether the correct answer is more or less than what you heard. Okay? Now, you're the challenger, so you get the first break right now. Brian, we'll start off with you, and we look at our stars, and the first question goes to Nipsey Russell.
Yes.
Nipsey, ostriches are the largest birds living today.
Mm-hmm.
They are almost 8 feet tall, and they lay 3-pound eggs.
Wow, that's why they make that noise, huh?
Our question is, how much does an average ostrich weigh?
Oh, they're big. I saw Tony Fields riding one, and the bird wasn't even straining. An ostrich weighs 600 pounds.
600 pounds? You've heard the answer. Now, how much is it worth to you? You've got 3 points, Brian.
I'll play all 3 points.
All 3 points. Is it more or less than 600?
Well, I don't think it's quite 600. I'd say it's less.
345 pounds is less, and you get the 3 points. Now, it weighs less, but the eggs weigh 700 pounds. That's what it is. All right, Brian has 6. We go to our champion, Eva Carmona. The question, Eva, that you're going to hear is one that's addressed to Rue McClanahan. Now, Rue, as an average American,
yes,
you take in approximately 2,500 calories a day. Our question is, how many calories can you burn off during a single act of lovemaking?
Speak for yourself, Rube.
Well, now, wait a minute. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I hope she can't speak for you.
Incidentally, Rue, if you should accidentally, by some brilliance, hit this one right on the nose exactly, the points go to the player.
And you go with me.
Well, I really think there must be a difference in men and women.
I hope so.
Just the facts, ma'am.
If we're going to say average, then we have to take the average woman and the average man and then average that out, I would say it's less than tennis.
Just give me.
You have to take that long. I think she's in trouble.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to say 350.
350 calories. I don't hear any whistles or bells going off, so she doesn't have the exact answer. 350. How much is that worth to you, Eve?
It's worth 3 points.
3 points. Is it more or less than 350?
I think it's more.
You think it's more? 200. It's less. And, of course, what happens, you never lose points, but your opponent gets the points that you have wagered on this one. And so Brian gets the 3. He's got 9. You have 3. That's how we play the game. We'll continue with Shoot for the Stars right after this. 200. The score is challenger Brian Tully 9, champion Eve Carmona 3. And it's Brian's turn right now. And you need 15 to win the game. You have 9. You could find out that 6 would put you over the top right now. So listen carefully to the question that I direct to Jack Plugman. Jack, the late Tommy Manville is well known for having been married many times.
Yeah.
His marriage to his 7th wife, however, lasted for the shortest length of time. Our question is, how long did that marriage last?
Well, I figured it lasted long enough I ought to open up a joint checking account. That's Now, I remember when we used to read in the paper all the time, so I would say that his lasting marriage for him was a week. I'd say about an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
That's what I figured.
He's... Touché. And I have to go back to the answer, which is an hour and a half. And Brian Tully, how much is that worth to you? You need 6 to win the game. Will you go for the whole 6, or will you play it cautiously?
I'll play for 6.
You're going to play for all 6. Remember, if you lose it, they go over to Eva, but that wouldn't put her over the top. The answer was an hour and a half. Do you think it's more or less for that last marriage of Tommy Manville's?
I believe it was longer.
You think it was longer? The answer is 34 minutes. It was shorter. 34 minutes. And the points go over to Eve Carmona. 34 minutes. Well, listen, she had the joint bank account before she married him, you see. That's the way she looked
She
after
walked
that.
away fat. She didn't lose any calories.
He had an argument, and it was just like, that's the way it went.
They fell out at the church.
Huh?
They fell out at the church.
That's right. On the way out, somebody hit her with a piece of rice in the eye. All right, now, the score is 9-9, and Eve, you got a very interesting position right now because 6 points would give you 15 in the game. If you lose, however, if you make the wrong decision and it goes over to Brian, the 6 points would give him the game. Listen to this particular question that we're going to throw at Joanne Worley. Joanne, all governors in the United States do not earn the same yearly salary. The governor of New York, for example, is paid $85,000 a year. Our question is, how much does the governor of Arkansas earn in a year?
85. Well, no wonder New York is in such financial trouble. No, that's far too much. The governor of Arkansas, I happen to know him, bless his heart. He works to make his real money. We make $75,000 a year calling pigs. But in governorship money, he makes $20,000 a year.
I don't hear any bells. That's not the exact answer. She said 20,000. Eve Carmona, how much is that worth to you? Is it worth going for the whole works?
I'm going to go for the whole
The whole
thing.
works. The 6 points, you're
6
going to go
points.
right now. If you're right, you're going to win the game. If you're wrong, Brian wins the game. Is it more or less than
I think
20?
it's more.
You think it's more? The answer is 10,000. It's less. Brian Tully wins the game. So, I have to say, the poor governor of Arkansas and poor Eve Carmona. But you're not that poor. You're going home with $3,150. You were a lovely lady, and thank you for being with us
Thank you
today
very much.
on Shoot for the Stars. Thank you. Now, Brian Tully, you're our new champion, and you have a chance to shoot for a star and get a prize. And what is one of our stars holding, Jay?
The exciting Triumph TR7 sports car.
Well, we know what one of them has. All you have to do is find the person that's holding that TR sports car, and it's yours. You can pick anyone you want. It's your prize. You earned it. Shoot for one of the stars.
Joanne Worley.
Joanne Worley.
Oh,
Joanne,
Cousin, my
open
red
up that
outfit.
little globe and find out what the prize is. Is it the sports car? It is.
It's a teeny weeny sports car.
It is
Oh, it's a color TV unit.
a color television set.
It's Teledyne Packard Bell's color TV console. 100% solid state in a handcrafted Mediterranean pecan cabinet. And it sells for $789.
$789. And there's more to go, Brian, because now you're going to go for that bonus game. And here's the way the bonus game works. I'm going to ask a question. Our 5 panelists, are you ready? They're going to write down an answer to this question. And then I'll show you how you can earn the bonus. The question for our 5 celebrities is, imagine just one of your billions of blood cells. Now, if that cell started out in the heart, how long would it take for it to travel the entire circular route of your body from head to foot and back to the heart? One circular route. How long would it take? Write it down. Now, at this time, Brian, you can pick any 3 of these celebrities and look at their answers. Then you choose the one answer you think is the closest. And if you're right, you have a chance for $25,000 in the bonus. Now, whose answers do you want to see? You can pick any 3.
Rue McClanahan.
Rue, what did you write?
I wrote 24 seconds.
Said 24 seconds. Who else do you want to see?
Joanne Worley.
Joanne Worley said.
I'd love to see Brian.
Look at this.
22
seconds.
Okay, and Pat Harrington.
And Pat Harrington says
40 seconds.
40 seconds. I would have said about 10 minutes. That shows you what I know. Maybe I'm right, and maybe they're right.
That's
But
why
it
you don't burn up 200 calories when
That's right.
You may select anyone right now, and if you're closest, you are going to go for that bonus. Is it 22, 24, 40? What do you say?
It's a tough one, but I'll go with Rue.
You're going to say Rue. The answer is 25 seconds. Rue is 24, and you're right. You're right. Come on over here, young fella. You get a chance right now to go for that big bonus prize.
Good for him.
As you noticed, our celebrities picked 5 prizes right out of here at the beginning of the show. But we've reloaded the Superstar, and we put in a star containing $25,000. You can pick any one for winning that bonus game. Whatever you get, you keep. But there's a 25 grander there somewhere, so let's see if you can find it. He takes green, hand it over to me, and I'll see just what it is for you. Is it 25,000? No, but it's not bad. It's $750 in cash. Right here. Take a look at that one. There's the $25,000 one. Now, I want to show you it is right in there, and I grabbed it just as it went by. I knew where it was all the time, but I wasn't going to tell you. So you have $750 in cash, and you had $750 for your first prize. You now have $1,500, and you're going to meet another challenger right after these shows. I forgot to ask which one of you stars was holding on to that Triumph automobile. And it was Rue McClanahan who held it. Had he chosen you, he'd had a beautiful car. But our champion has $1,500, and you go pick another prize right out of our Superstar right now. Okay, go back to your seats with your prize. Whatever one you want. Pat?
I'm going to take a green one.
That's not a green one. And Rue. All right, they each have selected a brand new prize that we'll be shooting for a little later on. But right now it's time to meet your new challenger, Brian. And we're going to say hello right now to Meg DeGeese. Or is it DeGeise? DeGeise. Meg DeGeise is very nice, but she's also married, so I'll make no more jokes about that. Husband is in USC Dental School, I take it, but it also says that you're a former UCLA song girl. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that you crossed the tracks.
I had to just this once.
Well, I don't blame you.
Still
Cross
growing.
the bridge, her husband's a dentist.
Across the bridge because her husband's a dentist. I like that. Took our folks a little longer to get it, but why don't we work on that joke as we watch this commercial message? Our new champ is Brian Tully. He's got $1,539 worth of merchandise. And, of course, if you keep winning, you keep adding loot, and you stay right in that seat until you own the network. Your challenge, a very pretty girl, and she's going to go first. The first question is addressed to Pat Harrington. Pat, a simple question. How many words are there in the Pledge of Allegiance?
And the pledge, I take the pledge about twice a month.
No, the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States, not to Alcoholics Anonymous.
I've never drank in Congress. I would say, how many words are there in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Don't run the whole thing. Just take it.
There are 57 words.
57 words. How much is that worth to you, Meg?
I think it's worth 3 points.
You're worth the 3 points. More or less than 57?
I say it's less than 57.
31. It's less. You get the 3 points.
Good going.
Brian, you have 3. The next question will be addressed to Nipsey Russell. Nipsey, you might find it amazing that at one time the United States Department of Agriculture published a pamphlet urging Americans to grow marijuana for profit.
What?
Honest. In what year do you think this pamphlet was published?
Well, it wasn't lately because they're growing a lot of it now. Little kids are using it a lot. They're no sooner off the pot than they're on pot again. I would say about 1920.
1920? You hear that, Bert? That's right on the nose. Having hit it right on the nose, you automatically get the 3 points. You didn't have to work for it. But just between you and me, would you have thought it was as far back as 1920?
I had 1923 in my mind.
You would have. So if he'd have said 21, you'd have been wrong by going for more, right?
Right.
Never take the 3 points.
I'll
take the
it.
3 points. Of course, Nipsey's the only one around here who can remember back to 1920, so it was easy for him to answer
My
that
dad
question.
used to tell me.
Your daddy told you.
That's it, right? He got the 3 points.
He got the 3 points
I
first.
thought with the bells ringing and everything, the guy won a peninsula or something. I just got 3 points.
Spell peninsula.
Peninsula.
Each of our players has 6.
P-A-J-A. What do you mean?
He's back with us. Thanks for returning.
We're through with
Each
the
have
pledge.
6 points. Meg, guys, you have 6 points. Listen to this next question. It's addressed to Rue McClanahan. Rue, the most expensive hotel room in the world is the Celestial Suite in Houston's Astro World Hotel.
Oh, yes.
How much does this room or suite rent for per day? It's a suite of rooms.
I bet it is.
The most expensive hotel suite in the world.
Yes, and it's in Houston, one of the most expensive cities.
Amen.
You know those Texans. I know those Texans. I'll bet they figured they had to charge and could get at least $100 an hour. So I'd say $2,400 a day.
$2,400 a day,
Right.
no bells. That's not the exact answer. Meg, how much is that worth to you? You have 6 points.
Oh, I'd say it's worth 5 points.
5 points? Is it more or less than $2,400 a day?
I'm going to say it's less.
$2,500. It's more by $100. And you forfeit the points over to Brian Tully.
Toilet in the hall.
Brian gets the 5 points. He goes to 11 and puts himself in a very advantageous position because all you need now is 4 to win the game. If you should be wrong, the 4 points would go to Meg, and that's not enough to win the game for her. You're in a great position. The next question goes to Jack Plugman. Jack, recently the Los Angeles Free Press polled a group of people on a peninsula. They asked them this question. Was Sherlock Holmes a real person? What percentage thought that he was?
The same percentage that thought Nixon was a real president.
What do you think about that, Guido Panzini?
How many thought it was a real person? I would say 70%.
70%.
No bells?
How much is that worth for you? No bells.
I hear my
That
head
will be
bell.
worth 4 points.
4 points. He's going for the whole
go for
kit
it.
and caboodle right now.
All the way.
The answer was 70%. Was it more or less?
More.
84%. It was more. You win the game. Well, Meg de Geist, that wasn't very nice. We
Very nice.
we
I
held
don't
you here
like
for
that.
about 4 minutes. Didn't get a chance to really see too much of you, but I want to say one thing. You are a very pretty girl.
Well, thank you very much.
And we thank you for having graced our stage here today. There'll be a very nice consolation prize waiting for you. Thank you. And say hello to the dentist's husband,
I
will you?
will. Thank
Right.
you.
So we say goodbye to Meg de Geist, and we turn our attention right now to our champion, Brian Tully. Brian Tully, you've won the game. You have a chance to shoot for a star and win yourself yet another prize. We happen to know what they're holding, and what is one of our stars holding on to right now, Jeff?
A jet vacation to exotic Tahiti.
Where the suites are a little less than $2,400 a night. Which star do you think is holding on to that great vacation?
Nipsey Russell's my choice.
Nipsey Russell is your choice. Well, first I'm going to ask the stars to look at their prizes. Go ahead, open them up. Don't say anything. But who's got that trip to Tahiti? Is it Nipsey?
It is not I.
Who's got it?
Joanne has it!
You should have picked Joanne.
Brian, you silly
How are
goose.
you going to get rid of it?
That's all right. Yes, she had the Tahiti trip, but you picked Nipsey, and what have you got for
I have
Nipsey?
for you a color television.
Is that your second one? 2 color television sets. Now,
It's the Teledyne Packard Bell Color TV console, 100% solid state in a handcrafted Mediterranean pecan cabinet. It sells for $789. You have a matching set.
I don't know what you're laughing about. Every home has got to have 5 or 6 of them.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 200 for it right now.
And he might sell it to you. He's got 1 for the bedroom, and he's got 1 for the living room, and more than that, he has a chance to play our bonus game with a possibility of 25 grand. Here's how it works, you know. I ask a question. Our 5 panelists are ready to write down the answer. And you listen to it, too, and make up your own mind, because then we'll give you your chance. Panel, J. Paul Getty, the wealthiest man in the world, but not in this room next to Jack Klugman, started his career working in the oil fields of Oklahoma. How old do you think J. Paul Getty was when he made his first $1 million?
Oh, I need a pen. Here. Thank you.
Now, Brian, you can pick any 3 of these celebrities, look at their answers, look at them closely, and then you choose the one answer you think is the closest. And if you're right, you get a chance to pick that 25 grand out of there. All right, whose do you want to see? Whose answers?
First, I'd like to choose Jack Klugman.
All right, Jack, what did you write down? How old do you think he was?
I'm going to play this exact that I'm on.
He thinks he was 23 years old.
Okay.
Who next?
Rue McClanahan.
Rue McClanahan says
I
he
think
was 29 years old.
And Nipsey Russell.
And Nipsey Russell thinks that he
I
was
think he made it at
19. Well, now, our audience seems to have a preference, but what do they know, right? 19, 23, and 29. They all went for youth, thinking that he was a millionaire very early. Hold it up for just a moment, Nip, so that the man can concentrate. Now you select one, and if you're right, you go for that bonus. 19, 23, or 29.
Jack Klugman.
You think Jack Klugman is
23.
closest? You say 23 is closest?
Right.
The man was 23 years old. Come on.
Get in there, buddy. Take that 25
Jack wanted to know why no bells rang that time. They only ring in the first game. Here he had to make his choice.
They're ringing in my head now.
Right. Well, we've reloaded the superstar. There's $25,000 in one of them. And all you have to do is take a good hard look, pick one. Whatever you choose, you get to keep. But if you pick the $25,000, that'll be something. He's picked the blue one. All right. We're going to take a look at this. Huh?
Blue like my eyes.
Blue like your eyes? Oh, that's sweet. You did the same thing you did last time. You got $750 in cash. $750 in cash, which brings your total up to $3,000 in television sets and cash. And you still remain as our champion. You get to meet another challenger tomorrow and maybe go on and on and on. So we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see all of you tomorrow, and we'll see you especially. Thank you, panel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Shoot for the Stars is a Stephen Haydes Monty Hall production. This is Jay Stewart speaking.
If you like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more. And check out my Facebook page for other exciting content.